It's time for the one and the only show. It's the Luke Howard Show Live. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. It is today, Tuesday, the 28th of July, 2020. And we're starting off today with a very special mention because it's my cousin Kira's 17th birthday. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! Woo! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Now, I believe this time 6 years ago, I did a 2-week radio show called This Morning with Luke Howard. And it was a radio show about ITV's This Morning, but it was presented by me, Luke Howard. It was the same as what it would usually be on ITV, but it was just presented in a radio edition with me, the one and the only Luke Howard. And on the second week, on the Tuesday, what we did was, I thought that we'd do a special mention to Kira Butler, my cousin, to say happy birthday to her. So, we're going to do it all again. So, happy birthday, Kira. Here we go. Woo! Woo, woo, woo. Happy birthday. Hope you have a lovely day, indeed. So, okay. Apart from that, I hope she has a lovely day. Hope you're all well. Hope you're having a good day so far. It is 10:02, and as I said, it is the 28th of July, my cousin's birthday, so I hope she has a lovely day. They're going out today, but it's supposed to be a secret. I don't know where they're going. They left at 7:45 this morning. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they're going, what they're doing. I don't know. All I knew is that they had to be up and out by 7:45 in the morning. So, wherever they've gone today, I hope they love it, and I hope it goes very, very well. So, coming up on the show today, what we're going to be talking about is news, okay? Obviously news. We're going to be doing our news review up to around about 10:15 or 10:20, whenever it finishes. And then after our news review, we're going to be playing some great music. And then when we come back, we've got that important National Day to talk about. And then after that, we're going to be playing more music. And then, so we'll just see how it goes on the show today. We usually just see how it goes. So, we'll just see how it goes, and we'll see what happens. So, okay, let's talk about Spain, okay? Do you want to talk about Spain? Let's talk about Spain, because the coronavirus UK quarantine restrictions have adjusted in Spain, okay, says the PM. The UK government has a decision to impose a 14-day quarantine, would you believe, on everyone arriving from Spain, and was unjust. The country's Prime Minister has also said that, okay, this is what, his name is Pedro Sanchez, okay? He said tourists in most Spanish regions would be safer, okay, for coronavirus from the UK. Now, I said on the show yesterday, my mum's friend, best mate, Jane Cole, good friend of hers, been friends for donkey's years. They met working for Rochford's, which is a flower company, years ago. Anyway, she moved to Spain, she lives in Spain, and she was supposed to come over next Friday. But unfortunately, due to what's going on at the moment, and of course now, Spain's got worse, so she can't come over. So they've cancelled all the flights, apparently, from Spain to England. So if you are in Spain and you are listening, all I'm going to say is, please take care of yourselves if you're listening from Spain today. He said that he talks and were ongoing after the UK also advised against all but essential travel to the whole of Spain. Labour said the government's handling of the restrictions had been chaotic. Now, do you know what? I don't fly anywhere, you see. I don't go abroad now, so I don't really want to. I don't go abroad anymore because it's too hot for me. Wherever we go, it's too hot. So I do not go abroad anymore, and I haven't been going abroad for the last couple of years, since 2015, would you believe, which was 5 years ago. So I haven't been going abroad for a couple of years, and I'm planning not to go abroad for not a long time now, and I'm not going to go for a long time. The UK government said it has no plans to change its decision to reintroduce the quarantine measures, with Boris Johnson's official spokesman warning that no travel is at risk free during this pandemic, would you believe? He asked about the risk to holidays to other destinations. Junior Government Minister Simon Clarke, he said that the possibility of the rules are changing and has to be factored in it. Now, that's just my vodka. But all means go on holiday, but understand that there is a chance that you may be asked to self-isolate upon your return. So, I mean, I was watching a news programme yesterday, and the travel expert Simon Colger was on there, and he was saying if you go to France, and you can come home and self-isolate, then go back out again and go on another holiday. You can do that, and I was really surprised when he said that. As in an interview with the Telecom TV network, Mr. Sanchez now said that his government was talking with the British authorities to try to get them to consider the decision. Now, the UK had made an error, okay, by considering the infection rate for the whole country. He also said much more, and he added that 64.5%, would you believe, of the new cases registered are in 2 territories, and in most of Spain, the prevalence of COVID-19, or some people say COVID, is it COVID or COVID? I don't know what it is. Is it COVID or COVID? I mean, I don't really know if it's COVID or COVID. It's hard to say what it is. But they're very much interior to the numbers registered in the United Kingdom. Now, the rate of infection in Spain is 35.1 cases. And this is per 100,000 people, while the UK is at 14.7, according to the largest figures from the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control. Now, while the outbreak remains under control in many parts of España, as I like to call it, España, certain areas, in particular Catalonia in the southeast and the neighbouring region of Aragon, have seen a huge spike in infections. Now, data up to 19th of July, they suggested that there were lower rates of infections in the Balearic and Canary Islands than in mainland Spain. Now, while the Canaries, which are further away from Barcelona, and Barcelona is the UK, are on the list as well as mainland Spain. I simply don't understand, he said. The Labour MP Chris Bynum, who chairs all the party political group for Spain. And there are many, many regions, okay, of España, as I like to call it, España, which have much lower infection rates, and many areas in the UK. He said, I think that this has been terribly badly handled. He said, speaking to BBC Breakfast, local government, speaking to a news programme, this is a news programme, local government minister, this is Mr. Clark, he said that we respectfully disagree with the Spanish government's position on this. We have seen a very sharp increase in cases in España, a 75% increase in cases reported between the middle of last week, which was last week, because I remember, at the end of last week, that's why they took the action that they have. He said, we responded to criticism that the government should have given more notice, saying that ministers received the data on Thursday and Friday, and they said we acted on Saturday. He said, I don't think really there could have been much a prompt turnaround. Now, let's move down, because travellers returning to the UK from anywhere around Spain must now self-isolate, would you believe, for 14 days at a registered address, and you must give the airport people your address when you go. Now, following a report in Daily Telegraph, the quarantine for travellers from Spain could be cut to 10 days if they test negative. A number 10 source has told a news programme that they would not be expecting any move on quarantine days reduction. Mr. Clark said that we always keep the quarantine rules under review, but the position is totally unchanged. He asked about the newspaper's report that 10 Britons have tested positive for the virus after returning to the UK from Spain. Mr. Clark told the Today programme, I can't say whatever is true or not, true or false. He said, what can I say? Is that there have been thousands of new cases in España over recent years. Therefore, it's an entirely possible scenario that people have returned to the UK carrying out the virus. He said, even if the risk is one that hasn't matured, frankly, if it's one that we need to close off. Holiday companies Jet2 and Taiyu were among those to announce sweeping flight cancellations following the UK announcement. EasyJet, British Airways and Ryanair said they would continue to operate full schedules of flights to Spain, though EasyJet said that its holidays would be cancelled for the next few weeks. Now, among the thousands of affected by the change in travel advice, this is Tom Clasby now. He said that he had checked into an airport hotel near Stansted Airport with his fiancée, their 2 daughters, with other family members ahead of holiday to Mallorca. Now, I know Stansted Airport very well. It's not very far from us. It's about 20 minutes up the road from where I live. So I know Stansted Airport very well. Now, Mr. Clasby, 26, was due to depart at 6:55 BST on Tuesday, okay? But now faces a having to return home to Bury St Edmunds, which is in Suffolk, which isn't very well, about an hour away from here, that is. Now, they're in a situation where they can't do anything yet, but they don't actually know what to do. The poor little girls have been so excited for this holiday, and it's the second holiday this year that has been cancelled. We are just very disappointed. The girls will be so upset, and I can see they look very upset. I've got a picture of them now. They look very, very upset. I mean, they do look very upset. Also affected was Transport Secretary Grant Shapps, who flew to Spain on Saturday. I'm surprised he even got a flight to go down there, despite knowing a decision on the quarantine policy was due. Mr. Shapps said in a statement that he would return to the UK on Wednesday next week in order tomorrow. I keep thinking it's Saturday. It's not Saturday. It's Tuesday today. In order to complete his quarantine. I don't know why I keep thinking it's Saturday. I really don't. To return to work as soon as possible. Now, people who do not self-isolate can be fined up to £1,000 in England. Wales and Northern Ireland, and those returning to England could be fined £480, which is much cheaper than what you can get fined over here, would you believe? Because over there you can get fined, over here you can get fined a lot of money, but over there you can't. With fines up to 5,000, would you believe, of persistent offenders. Now, Labour has urged the government to step in to protect jobs in the travel industry. Now, the government's handling of this issue has been nothing short of chaotic. The online industry and passengers need clarity, said Shadow Transport Secretary Jim McAaron. Now, meanwhile, the Foreign Secretary has been criticised by MPs over its slow repatriation of Britons abroad to the start of this pandemic. Now, it does actually come as a further 7 people with coronavirus were reported to have died across our country, the UK, according to the latest government figures, bringing the UK's total number now of deaths to 45,759. Right, okay. Well, let's move on then to another story then, because we're going to talk about Fix Your Bike vouchers launch as doctors is to prescribe bikes on the NHS. Now, a government scheme is offering £50 for bike repair vouchers, which will launch in England from today, as part of plans to boost cycling and walking, okay? An interior 5,000 vouchers will be made available online later today on a first-come, first-served basis. The Prime Minister also announced that bikes will be made available, okay, on the NHS as part of the strategy. But Labour said that many of the government's proposals were taken too long to come into effect. It comes after the government launched its obesity strategy on Monday. GPs in areas of England with poor health will be encouraged to prescribe cycling, with patients able to access bikes through their local surgery. Recent Public Health England research found that being overweight or obese puts people at greater risk of serious illness or death from COVID-19. Government statistics showed that nearly 8% of critically ill patients in intensive care units with the virus has been morbidly obese, compared with 2.9% of the general population. The Prime Minister Boris Johnson said cycling and walking have a huge role to play in tackling health and eventual challenges. He said you have to build a healthier, more active nation, and we need the right to instructor training and support in place to give people the confidence to travel on two wheels. He also said that's why now is the time to shift gears and press ahead with our biggest and boldest plans yet to boost active travel so that everyone can feel the transformation benefits of cycling. Now, the former Olympic gold medalist Chris Boardman, now a policy advisor to British cycling, welcomed the plans. There's a quarter of households in Britain who don't have access to a car at all, who don't have access to cars at all. And they've also got a public transport operating 30%, so 70% of people have got to find another way to travel or not go to work. Now, okay, this can not only a provision for people who don't have a car now, and it's a consolation for the future. The government's Fix Your Bike vouchers are being legislated to batches to help manage capacity and so that the scheme can be monitored before being rolled out more widely. Now, they will typically cover the bill for a standard service and the replacement of a basic complement, such as an inner tube or cable. During a Downing Street briefing in May, Transport Secretary Grant Shapps said the intensity would be available from next month, but the Department of Transport DVT said that in July that it would only begin when maintenance shops could handle the expected spike in demand. Halfords, which is a famous bike company, said it has thousands of slots available each day for customers to bring their